Hey, yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Trey Trey coming through with another video. And today I want to talk about. I'm gonna go on a different topic. I don't know if I talked about this before, but I'm gonna talk about my thoughts on this decade. How I feel and stuff like that. Um, yeah, man. I don't. This decade is pretty shitty. Like the 2020s so far is pretty much hell. First of all, like, am I the only one that noticed that everything went like the 2010s was already, if you ask me, that decade was trash. Like 2010 to like 2020, that decade was, kind of trash. But it seemed like now it's just the 2020s, it's basically the same thing but worse. Kind of like the equivalent to, it's like I look at it like a movie that wasn't a good movie, that was a horrible trash movie, and then someone making a sequel to that trash movie that was already bad, and then the sequel was being, is bad, like, a a, a a bad sequel to an already fucked up previous movie. So that's how I look at this decade. The 2020s, the 2010s was like a bad, like a fucked up movie, and then the 2020s is like the sequel that we didn't ask for because we didn't like the first one. That's what the 2020s is like. But no, but seriously though, um, let's start off with the internet, right? The internet. So you got like, I started going on YouTube in particular in 2006, which was what, 18 years ago, 2006. But I want to say it came out the previous year, but I didn't get on it until a year later until 2006. It was pretty good, but I liked it because it was like a way to, like, an outlet to express yourself. I don't know what's going on, like right here. It look a little foggy. I don't know. I gotta check and see what's wrong with my phone. But yeah, man, it was just, I don't know. You express yourself on YouTube back then. You would, you know see some funny videos, people talking about, certain things. Everybody had their own lane. Everybody seemed to be more original with their stuff. A bunch of funny videos and whatever music that was out at the time, people posted on YouTube. And that's what YouTube was like back then. Now it's just a bunch of people that got an opinion about everything, a bunch of internet trolls that ain't gonna do shit in real life or say the things that they will say on there in real life. You have you have a bunch of people, they want to argue about, everybody got a, it seems like ever since 2020, the year 2020, ever since the pandemic, everybody has a fucking podcast now. Am I the only one that noticed that? And you got a bunch of people that's on those podcasts is arguing with women, talking about 50-50, who should go, I mean, do you respect a man that go 50-50? What, everybody is an expert on dating now, seems like. um yeah, 50-50 on bills. They always talking about that bullshit. Always talking about what a man should do, what a man's supposed to do. A woman should, about women and all of that. Always arguing about women on these bullshit ass podcasts. These red pill people, so to speak. Um, and then you got what else? Then you got these pop the balloon, where they pop the balloon and they go, they line the dudes up, and you pick which one that you would sleep with, so to say. It just I don't know, it's all BS. And you just have, like, everybody's a gamer now. Everybody's, it's just a bunch of people following the trends and doing whatever trend that I guess gets the most clicks and views and what gets the most money. I guess, I mean, I could somewhat understand it, but it ain't really genuine. It's like, ain't nobody, people ain't really original like that. Ain't nobody really creative. Most people ain't really creative on YouTube these days. Only thing creative about it is what, the way they edited their videos. Now let's get off the internet for a minute. Let's get off that topic. We kind of through with that. Now let's talk about this whole inflation BS, because that's what it is. You have man, like the 2020s, man, it's just, the 20 teens was already a shitty decade. the decade we just left, but the 2020s is, oh man, this is already starting all fucked up. You first of all, in 2020, the year 2020 started off with this bullshit ass pandemic that people was, I guess, dying from, stopping everybody jobs and stuff like that, and stopping people ways of certain ways of income. People had to go to school and virtually. I don't know if I said that word right, but yeah, like it's just all fucked up. And then you got the 2021 with this inflation ever since then. Yeah, let's talk about the inflation. It's like everything just, I guess, sky high. Gas prices are high, and it's like, boy, food. Like, don't even get me started on like snacks and stuff like that. Like, I remember it used to be this can I ordered. It was like a can of like beef stew, but it used to come in a can though. I love to eat it. You get it in like it's like beef stew, like potatoes, carrots, and beef, but it come in a can though. You just warm it up or cook it however you cook it. Sorry about my neck, but I usually make rice and cook it like that. So in 2021, it was like $1.50. Well, now it's $3.50. I used to get three of them. I still do, but they're it's like $1.50 more expensive than what it was like 3 years ago. So it's fucked up. Like, do you have like Snicker bars is high? Fucking, I remember when I was like a kid, man, in like the early 2000s when I was like a little kid. I remember when stuff was like a quarter. Now, man, like back then you could have got up like, let's say 2002. I was little, but I remember that year very perfectly. I remember in 2002 you could have got a bag of chips for just a quarter. Now those things are like damn near like what, $3 and some change, depending on what gas station or depending on what corner store, what area you go to, to get your snacks and stuff. Man, everything is just so fucking expensive. Um, like I remember in 2002, I was a little kid. People used to, adults used to take me to the corner store to get something to snack on. My favorite things I used to get was the oatmeal. It was a Debbie cake, little Debbie, like I think a raisin cream pie. That's what it was called. And I used to get that for 25 cents for like a quarter. And then I used to get the Lay's chips, sour cream and onion. Those were the two main things I got in 2002. I was little, but I remember that year very good, very well. And yeah, man, it's just like I remember where I'm from in the South. I remember rent used to be like $600. Yeah, I remember $600 rent. I remember like people used to like get certain cars or like certain down payments and shit for like $1,000 and stuff like that. Like I remember those times. Get you like $600 and get you like a $50 like deposit stuff. Like I remember shit like that. I may be a little off, but I'm not that off. Studio apartment so high, you can barely find anything like worth that's cheap. Even if it's like I guess a shitty place to stay in, like it'll still be high. That's the point we're at right now. And then let's get off that topic. I think the last thing I want to touch on is like dating. Like dating is, oh man, if you're a young man now, like in your 20s right now, if you're like age 18 to 30 now, you're kind of like, it's over with. Like the women, they won't basically, it was always, they always wanted top tier men, but it was never like on, like, I don't know, like everything wasn't on this bad of a scale. Like, let's say if you were somebody that was dating in the 80s, like, see, back then, like, women, most people didn't really, a lot of people didn't know much unless they was traveling back then, because we didn't have smartphones in the 80s, of course. So it was like, yeah, like the only men that you were dealing with was men that was like in your neighborhood or in like whatever area that you was in. So the only options they really had as far as picking the top tier men was men that was in their area. So let's say if you were somebody that was unattractive, it might have been easier to get a female back then because, all she had to choose from was in her little area. And plus, I somewhat believe women were a little more humble back then, a little more nice, a little more sweeter. But I'm sure they, had their little ways back then too. But it's messed up now. Um, the American dream is kind of dead. I think I might make a video on that too. But yeah, man, everything. I think I'm gonna end it off right here. I don't even want to make this too long. Basically, everything is shit now in America in 2020. People's mindset. Everybody is so evil now. Everybody is so fucking narcissistic. People think they know everything. Everybody got an opinion about everything. Everything is so expensive. The American nuclear family is pretty much non-existent at this point. Everything, I don't know. It's just fucked up. Dating's this is one of the worst times ever. Dating is down the toilet. The cost of living is down the toilet. Society is getting, I don't know, man. I don't like this decade. I hate the 2020s so far. I miss the 2000s. That's all I'm gonna say. I love y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Be safe. Bye bye.